So, welcome, Deshni. Please start.
Thank you so much. And good evening, everyone, once again. And let me start today's topic, which is power of imagination, through a question. What if you could turn your wildest dreams into a reality? Or, in other words, there's this quote which stuck my mind when I was designing this particular session, that a quote once Eleanor Roosevelt said that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Imagine a young entrepreneur who starts a small business by consistently delivering quality products and providing excellent customer service. They build a personal brand known for reliability and innovation. This strong personal brand not only attracts customers but also investors and partners, helping the entrepreneurs grow their business exponentially in every manner. What struck your mind at the first place when you heard the story? Anyone? What stuck your mind the minute you heard the story? For many, they must have thought that even I could start something like this. Or what can I do to start something like this? Many a times, don't we get into this kind of an mindset where, okay, if she can do, I can also do it. Isn't it? It happens. So
Yeah.
what happens when you, in that moment, you can use your imagination to reach where you want to reach. And you can use, when you start using your imagination in a negative manner, we call it anxiety. But when you start using your imagination and your power to create, to empower, to inspire, or to motivate, you can create wonders, or you can create that kind of wonders in your own life stories, isn't it? These are just small stories which creates a bigger impact or a bigger picture in our minds. I always say, I don't know from where it stuck me, but I always say to many of them that, you know, life happens twice, once inside your mind and once in reality. So we all need to be careful as to what we imagine, because human mind or human brain has lot more potential power to create what it believes in, or the what kind of stories we tell to ourselves. And many a times we start attaching ourselves to that negative emotions, whatever comes in our way, and thinking that is our reality. But not, that is not our reality. That is just another passing cloud in the sky. But at the same time, you can use your emotions to work for you using your imagination. I'll give you a small example where an individual who wanted to be on a platform like TEDx or any platform that for that matter, that individual has been dreaming for that for past 10 to 15 years, or say 10 to 15 years approximately. And after all these years, that individual had managed to give a TEDx talk. If you start believing, if you start saying, in the stories, what can help you to achieve that dream, you will eventually achieve it. That is the power of imagination as to what we use. I'll give you a different scenario. The day before you go to sleep, or any day before you go to sleep, think of all positive things or all the best things which happened. You get up morning fresh, but you get up with more ideas in your mind, and you start writing those things down, isn't it? And we create that imaginary dream world inside us. But do we want to give it colors, or do we want it black and white? Do we want it positive? Do we want it negative? That all depends on us, and that call we'll have to take a call on that, or we need to decide on that. But many a times, what happens is we start anticipating the worst case scenarios and we start getting nervous because of that, or we start getting anxious because of that. But I'm encouraging all of you to think, what if everything goes right? Or what could go right? On the flip side, think of it in their industry. They start by sharing their ideas, their knowledge, their insights on social media and writing articles. Over time, their consistent and their valuable contribution establish them as an authority in the field. Their personal brand as a thought leader opens up to new opportunities or new career opportunities and speaking engagements. The stories which I've been narrating all while illustrates as to how it shapes an individual to leverage their personal brand or their personal identity to achieve success in various fields, whether it's entrepreneurship, thought leadership, or in arts, or any industry which you take, even as a content creator in YouTube. As simple as that. Where right now on this particular platform, they would have started in a different manner, or they would have started from somewhere, and on the process they would have learned a lot of things. Am I right, Shabna ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, you must have started from somewhere, isn't it? But through on the process, you learn a lot of things which can shape your future. We never know the kind of stories which we tell ourselves. It can shape your future, but on the process, you learn to be creative, and you learn to use you learn how to use your imagination that fuels up your artistic expression, or even for that matter, your personal development or your personal growth, or the way you solve your problems. This is what happens when you start reading lot of books. If you see, especially with different authors from this, at least the thriller, mystery, all suspense, all these things, different authors, for example, Sidney Sheldon will be solving a problem in a different way, or William Shakespeare, if you take on a literature part of it, or David Copperfield, if you take lot of novels like these, they have their own imagination what they use. So you can build your strong personal brand which can open your door, or a strong personal individual identity which can open doors and create opportunities for your personal as well as your professional growth. And that's when I discovered a passion for creating change or giving that kind of transformational sessions. But I believe in the using your power of imagination, you could create wonders in your own life and in other people's life. Because training is one, or rather from a personal experience, all these things comes in a combination. Let me give you a scenario. You get up in the morning, or if anyone wants to do this right now, we can do it with me. Who's watching this later, try doing this and come share your experiences down in the comment section whenever you get a chance. Imagine you wake up to a bright sunny day, and you are in that particular day where you wanted badly to go for that hike on the mountains to see the sunrise. How would you feel? Can you just visualize this scene and tell me as to how do you feel? Definitely, you must have felt so relaxed.
Awesome.
You must have felt so relaxed.
Yeah.
You must have felt awesome. You must have felt different, positive. You must have felt joy just seeing the sunrise. Sometimes we leave out to enjoy the small things which we experience it on a almost once in a while or almost on a daily basis. But how many of us take the time out to just to sit and enjoy that sunset and sunrise in from our own house. Many a times we don't do it. Or just having that sit down conversation with your loved ones or your friends, not on the phone, but sitting directly. Many times we don't do these small things. But we need to be aware as to what kind of stories we tell to ourselves, what kind of things which we tell to ourselves, or what kind of things which you tell to people with who's with you. There's a quote which I read, or there's a somewhere I read this, that either you can influence the energy in the room or you can adapt to the energy in the room. And it's the choices which we make which defines it. The moment you flip that switch to from using your imagination to giving a person that energy. Say, for example, you give a nice, confident handshake to a sick person, that person will feel energized. Just the simple act of giving a handshake would change people's life. And that is where your personal individual identity encompasses your skills, values, and expertise, and the way you interact with others. And we could share that, unforgettable experience or a magical experience in you are gonna experience that magical experience in the reality of right now. So let's tell the stories which is more positive. Let's start using our imagination to tell stories which are more inspiring, and let's be the voice for the voiceless out there, because that is why I started liking this kind of an industry, because the kind of impact which you can give it to people is huge. And the kind of gratitude or the kind of transformation you see in individuals' lives after a training is more than what you get in a paycheck. I think Shabna ma'am would agree for this, that the kind of transformations you get to see out in the world, or the organization you shape the future, or the young minds, it can be students, but the changing that, empowering that young minds is to a different extent. And I would
Yes.
say power of imagination is equally telling a story to yourself or the stories people around you. And that's where I call this personal branding and storytelling, using your imagination, sharing your journey, connecting with the audience on a personal level. And stories and imagination has the power to do that. So, any questions before we conclude the session for today?
Yeah. So Deshni, recently you gave a TED talk and you took that
Yes.
example also. So would you
Yes.
like to share your journey? When did you started imagining and how did it produce?
Okay. I started imagining being on the TEDx platform since when? I think when I was in my ninth or my 10th grade. That's when it started. Because there are times where almost every day I used to sit and watch 3 to 4 TED Talks, and I start noting down the pointers wherever I find something interesting. And I never knew these small moments would shape my future on a deeper level. So that's where my journey started. And one fine day, I got that opportunity of delivering a talk where I told my own transformation journey as to how it has changed my life in multitude of ways, just using my mindset and my imagination. If I have to leave you all with something, I shall leave you with this. Everybody is an individual. Nobody can be you. And that uniqueness, we all have to embrace it. No one can tell you how to use your time. It is yours. Your life is your own. You need to mold it and you need to make it. That's what I would leave all of you with in this, in the session of on power of imagination. So it is the choices and the chances which we use to create what we dreamt of. We can make our wildest dream a reality. The question which I started the session with, and this is what I would end with, that no one is you, and that is your superpower. Thank you.
Awesome, Deshni. Awesome. And would you recommend some practices that people can do on their daily basis? Because we know, we all know somewhat the power of imagination, but
Okay.
we often forget. We get busy,
Yes, yes, yes.
and then
Okay.
we remain
Few
busy.
practices is that there is some dream you want to achieve in your life. It can be on personal, professional, or any aspect of vertical. If you take of in your life is two things. What you can do is start with some guided meditation. Share about you with yourself, with the kind of thoughts which comes in, with the kind of first we need to clear our mind to start imagining something else, isn't it? So start doing that, and once you've done that, then go back and go to that situation where you you're standing or you're there already, you've achieved. Be in that place and start writing down what after you imagine, after you go through the whole process, come back to yourself, start writing down what all you must have done, as if you have done already. Start writing down, and then break that bigger goals or that bigger dream into smaller chunks, say as a long term and short term goal, and have a checklist as to what all you need to do from your part. And most importantly, consistency is what matters. It's not you do it one day and don't do it for 2 weeks, and then you later you do it, you're not going to achieve anything out of the blue. Consistency is what matters, and an open mind. Because feedback, criticism, like Priyanka Chopra once said in one of her talks, where change and failure is so constant, but we need to start accepting it. So start celebrating your small achievements or the small milestones which you make, so that you have the energy and the power to face whatever hurdles comes or whatever failures comes on the process. Because it is like you flip a coin, it keeps flipping till it falls on the ground. That flipping is life. Things will flip, situations will not go as per plan, everything is going to happen. But we need to have that mindset to accept, okay, this is what it is. That is where your actual transformation starts.
Yeah. So you said consistency. So should it be every day, or how would you suggest? Every
Yes, it
week
should be
or
every day as per your dream or whatever you plan to do.
okay. But what about the excitement? Because
That we need to create. That is where this rewarding system comes into picture. You need to start rewarding yourself at every step.
awesome.
Yes,
But sometimes you are not naturally excited about it. But
that is okay. You accept that also.
mm,
Not every time you'll have the same excitement, but discipline will keep you going.
awesome. So did you did you do that every day about TED Talk?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And how long did it take?
See, it depends. See, discipline is something. See, when it comes to my TED talk itself, I'll tell you, for past couple of years I've been doing this. It differs from what kind of things you want to achieve.
Yes, definitely. No, I was just sharing that from the practical, you know,
Yes.
example point of view. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that,
Thank you.
actually. Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
So it's a small talk, but it was very valuable. So thank you. We really appreciate that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, everyone.